Oh my goodness. Hey everyone, welcome to That Pedal Show. Dan here.
Mick here.
Joey here. Hey!
Oh my goodness.
Feels good to be back.
Dude.
It's been a long time.
Way too long.
Okay, so regular viewers of the show, you'll know Joey. You'll know him very well. He's been on the show many times before, but not for a little while. For new viewers, this is Joey Landreth of Joey Landreth and Brothers Landreth fame. We must be past our 10th anniversary. So TPS has been going 10 years, and we've now known Joey for more than 10 years.
11. It's 11 years this year that we've been friends.
Wow.
Yeah, since we had pizza, you, me, and Lee.
Yes.
Outside the Railway Club
Railway
in
Club,
Winchester.
Yep. That was awesome.
Yeah. Little did I know. Lifelong friends. Fuck, I'm going to start crying probably.
Jet lag will do it.
I've been here for a month. I have no excuse. I'm just a sap now.
Again, you'll know how important Joey is to That Pedal Show and That Pedal Show story. You were one of our very first guests. You taught us about harmonic tremolo and just opened up this whole world for us and a whole world of music. So Joey is currently in the middle of a European UK tour. By the time this video goes out, there's going to be some UK dates left to do. So if you want to go and see Brothers Landreth on the UK dates, please check out brotherslandreth.com.
The brotherslandreth.com, yeah, /shows.
Shows,
yeah.
And I'll put a link in the description, and you can get along in the UK and see the final leg of that tour.
If you haven't seen Joey and the Bros. Joey and the Bros. There you go.
Joey and the Bros.
If you haven't seen Joey and the Bros, it's a requirement. It is absolutely an essential requirement because it's one of the most amazing things. Apart from all the music, which is so glorious, just the love on stage. I mean, everyone leaves a Brothers Landreth gig better than when they arrived.
Oh man, that is such a kind thing to say, and especially now, given what's happening in the world. I was saying to Mick yesterday,
what's going on?
Yeah.
Nothing. Just tyrants. No. I've been doing this for almost 20 years. I mean, I have been doing it 21 years. I've been on the road. And there's always been this sort of like slight sense of guilt because it, at various times in my career, it's felt like a very selfish pursuit. It's like, I enjoy doing this.
Right.
It, oftentimes it costs my loved ones,
Yes.
especially now I'm married and I have children and even more, I'm aware of my own absence and it carries value. But for the first time, really in my career, I feel like the work that I'm doing, other musicians, you guys are doing, is really, really important.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing over the past week and just thinking about artistry and, actually being out with people, creating music and art and stuff and tone. And actually, I agree 100%. And if you can bring a bit of levity to someone at the moment.
Yeah, so it's like the work of putting some beauty back into the world is really important, and it's nonpartisan,
Yeah, completely.
And it's like I think we all, not to make this political so quickly, but we all sit in a certain part of the spectrum, and it's very easy to go, these are your beliefs, and so stuff you. But at the end of the day, I think we all want the same thing. We all want to be safe. We all want to be comfortable. We all want to be able to sleep at night.
Want the best for our kids.
Want the best for our kids.
Yeah, completely.
Mick, you said it best. My brother's been saying the same thing on stage. Like, we have more in common than we don't.
Yeah.
And so to find a central place where you can gather over that commonality, watching That Pedal Show once a week, coming to a Brothers Landreth show, going to see someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so important, it's so important to continue to gather despite your differences. Anyways, let's talk about pedals.
Yeah. No. Thank you for saying that. So in the remainder of this video, we're going to take in Joey's touring pedalboard. This is what's traveling with him at the moment. Talk about guitars and amps and all of that stuff. I think just reflect briefly, because the last time we saw you was 10 years of Let It Lie.
Yeah.
And you guys came out with the acoustic show and released that record and the acoustic record and all the rest of it. And because we know Joey so well, because we spend a lot of time together, I cannot believe we haven't seen you since, you said it was 23?
That's when we were touring that. Yeah,
Wow.
it was like the later, late summer, early fall, I think. Yeah.
That's nuts.
I'd have to double check, but
That's nuts. Anyway, the current tour is for Dog Ear, the latest Brothers Landreth
Awesome.
release, and we will talk a little bit about that in the game as well. What's Dog Ear a reference to, by the way?
Yeah, we've realized that it doesn't necessarily translate everywhere we go. So a dog ear in North America is when you bend the page of your book.
Yeah, okay, yep.
So in Europe they say donkey ear, like Esel or like Germany says donkey ear, Denmark. Yeah, we learned everywhere we go. So you guys say dog ear? No, we say donkey ear.
Oh, we say Dog Ear here. Yeah.
You say dog ear?
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, so I mean a lot of the songs on this record are written about being new parents and navigating, those waters with our partners and Dave and I have never really been capable of writing, in the third person. We're always writing about ourselves.
Yeah.
Whether it's veiled lightly or not. So my brother brought this song idea to the table about just, wanting to be, he read a book with his son Finn, who's 6 now. About
Really? Yeah. Oh my God.
Dude, Joni's gonna be 5 next week.
No.
Yeah. And our baby Raitt, she's gonna be 2 at the end of June. It's all the cliches are true.
You're not a parent till you've had boys.
Dude, I believe it. I have 2 girls, and sometimes I'm just like, look at them. They're just sitting there coloring
Angelic.
quietly. I mean, the baby Raitt, she's a bit crazy. Like she likes to instigate some stuff.
I just think your pain comes later. It's all the same pain. It's just delayed a little
on
bit.
a different time delay.
I just look at both my girls and I'm like, please be gay, please be gay, please be gay, please be gay, please be gay.
Or 2 shotguns, man. That's
Yeah. Would you like to see my collection of ice picks and shovels, young man? Come out to the backyard.
yeah.
Look at this hole. How tall are you? Perfect.
Do you like ice fishing?
That's dark, but honestly, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think who was saying that yesterday or recently anyway? Somebody was saying like when you have boys, the pain is early,
Yeah.
and then once they hit puberty, you're like bye.
Yeah.
And then with girls, it's the other way around. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm sure that's what I mean. Whatever.
But it comes through in the writing.
Thank you. Yeah. I was like, how am I going to make this segue back? I was supposed to be in the key of C, and now I'm in C sharp. How do I get back? So we wrote a lot about that, and the song Dog Ear it started as this from, I can't remember the name of the book, but it basically just like trying to be a lighthouse to your kids so they know where to come back.
Nice.
Okay.
And so the dog ear is like the line in the song is when you get lost in your story again, I'll be the dog ear.
So I'd wondered if it
Beautiful.
was kind of like, like a comfort thing. Some people do that on a cuddly toy or a dog's
Yeah,
ear.
yeah,
I
right.
thought okay, good. All right.
No, I mean it
It's
could be
more-
that.
more literal.
It's a little more literal. Unfortunately, we're not smart enough for metaphor, but
And I know everyone, you're dying to get to the board, I know, but to me anyway, and I hope I don't upset the rest of the band in saying this, it's the most band record that I think you've done.
I don't think that would upset the band at all. That's exactly what we wanted it to be.
Yeah.
We came off of that 10-year anniversary tour kind of going like, the band has never felt this good, and the vibes have never been this good, and everybody's just focused on this sort of on the similar end. We just want to do the best job we can. So we thought, the next record should just be that. So our front of house engineer Ian Phillips, he engineered much of the record. He recorded a lot of the record. And turns out he's an extremely talented recording engineer too. Murray did join us in the production chair, but then Dave and Roman and we wrote all the songs together. And everybody produced the record together. So it's it's a truly Brothers Landreth production.
It's the first time writing with Roman and Dave together.
I mean, for that length of time.
Yeah.
Dave and Roman and I wrote together on one of the songs on Hindsight.
Right.
I can't remember which one. But yeah, we just sort of, and we just made a job of it. We would write a couple times a week. David,
So cool.
I was, I mentioned earlier, I was having some health troubles, so I wasn't active in the early stages of the writing. But Dave and Roman were getting together and bringing songs, and I was like, sort of convalescing at home and listening to these song ideas and going like, holy shit, like these are some of the best songs that we've ever written. And I hadn't taking part in that. Not until later. Like I came in and did a lot of editing, and we finished everything together. But they would send me these song clips, and multiple times would be like, "It's done."
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, maybe 2 minor instead of 4 there, but other than that, it's done.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's really, really fun, and it feels very collective, and as a result, it's like it's so fun to play live because that's how they came to be. Yeah. So it's lots of improvising and yeah.
So tonally, what's new now since we one of our first guests, you introduced us to harmonic tremolo, so much fun exploring those tones. What's new now for you? What have you discovered?
I mean, the core of my sounds, I think, at the end of the day, if I was allowed to have 2 pedals, it would be an overdrive and a slap delay.
Right.
Hopefully there's a reverb on the amp.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of the basis of all my sounds. But what's new on the board? I mean, I've come up with some pretty fun sounds. I showed you one of them, and it's kind of the intro that I do for the song Dog Ear.
Right.
I recently got the Quad Cortex Mini, and it's kind of replaced a lot of my digital effects. Okay. I really struggled with it, to be honest. I was just like, I don't know, man. This thing looks awesome, and it sounds awesome, but like a modeler, I don't know. And then I kind of like had this sort of come to Jesus, was like, well, all your delays and reverbs are digital anyway. So let's just try it.
Yeah. And that's predominantly, so you're not using it for any amp sounds. This is where me and Dan tense, muscles tense. We get really defensive and we're like, please don't tell us it's
Start giving your chair a hickey.
Please don't say it's got rid of your amps. Please don't say it's got rid of your amps.
No, I can't. I couldn't do that. I mean, it's not that, I haven't. I got one of the UAD Enigmatic Dumble pedals.
Yep.
And for like a quick throw and go rehearsal or just like, plugging in the studio, wonderful.
Yeah.
But nothing has yet got me to the point that makes me go, this is just as good as plugging into an amp.
Yeah.
And I don't like, we've talked about this many times, but I don't like to play super loud. So it's not a volume thing necessarily. I mean, partially it is. Our front of house engineer, Ian, he's got like a pretty heavy background. So he's always like, man, can you turn up your amp? And the other day at a gig, he like goes over the talkback, Joe, I just need a little more from you. And I turned it up and we played the first 3 songs of the set and I was like, it's too loud and I had to turn down. And he was like, dude, for the first 3 songs, I actually had meters on you. So it's very funny. I've gotten pretty used to playing at a reasonable stage volume. So it's not necessarily a volume thing. There's just something that and whether or not it's placebo or not,
Doesn't
maybe
matter.
it's just like, I need to know that that's a part of the signal path.
Yeah.
And, so one thing I have done on this board is those 2 LAA, I think it's NV81, I can't see from here. Those are strapped across, they're in the last loop. And so they're just there to bring some warmth back in.
Okay.
I'm not, so the Quad Cortex does not have analog drive-through.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I did mess around a little bit with doing parallel loops. But I just kind of thought, like, at the end of the day, the amount of latency that you're going to get, I'm going to feel that from the distance of my amp to my microphone anyway. And it made some of this a little more flexible. So in order to justify it to myself, I was like, I'm just going to put those across after just to know there's a little bit of analog before the amps.
Yeah.
And what are they? Like little boosters or something?
Yeah, so they've got transformers in them that are based off of 1081 mic pre's, the Neve 1081 mic pre's.
Yeah.
And
so this is Carlo, right?
Yeah.
Seracio.
Yes, that's the one.
Let's not do that again.
How are you, Carlo?
I started messing. He had sent me 2 of them to try, one for me and one for my brother. Dave was using it. He was like, it sounds amazing, but it actually makes the bass sound like too fat.
Yeah.
So then we wind up having to cut stuff out. So he's like, it's wonderful, but it was just a little too much for the kind of sound that he goes for.
That
so
works well in this.
I'm not even boosting any level. It's just running through the pedals.
Just for a transformer.
Yeah. So let's see if we can hear it. You want to hit those 2? Oh no. The little bit of volume, you feel it even more. I should have set it up as a preset.
It's all good. It's perfect.
So it's very, very subtle, but it just kind of adds a little bit of shoulder in, and I think it's more of a safety blanket than anything. But I really like those. I really like those pedals.
They look wonderfully symmetrical as well.
Yeah.
I
worked real hard at.
Bothered by this linear, but
fuck.
it's gonna send him nuts now.
Do you know why? The tone. So these things have tone knobs.
Right.
And I took the pot off and I ground the tone.
Down.
Yeah.
I saw that.
So that it had to go there because that's the only place it'll fit
fit.
in between the two fuzz pedals.
So,
but yeah, it drives me nuts too.
Dan's made you a new fuzz, has he, or is that just a commemorative?
We've done a version 2 using silicone transistors.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So yeah, shall we?
Yes, please.
Come on. Oops. Oh, you bugger.
Actually, we should, once we've heard this, we should reflect on the way in which Joey is managing everything, because that's super interesting.
If I could ever, life goals, just to play a line as freaking awesome as that, and then I'm out. I'm done. You'll never hear from me again.
Does sound
That
amazing.
is
It's pretty fun.
Dude. Far out, man.
It's probably just motivated cognition on my part, but I always think with silicon ones, they've got this much more aggressive upper mid range.
Yeah.
And they don't seem to compress in the same way.
No.
Is that too much of a leading question?
No, you're bang on. And as I'm finding, I don't like. We were at dinner yesterday. and I was talking about this, but I don't know if my hearing is going or what. But I'm as I'm getting older, I'm wanting more top end, and not like. I don't think it's to compensate for hearing loss. I'm actually just embracing more top end, and I want that
Welcome
air.
to the top end party, baby.
Yeah. Next, I'll be playing an AC30 and a Rickenbacker. Yeah.
And the
Amazing.
Kernom, that's the fuzz one, right?
Yeah.
So you've got loads of different fuzz in there as well.
Yeah, I have it kind of set up like. But what I mostly use it for is yeah.
Amazing.
So it octaves nicely.
Yeah, it's good. I've messed with a bunch of just get as much of that out of there as we can. I've messed with a bunch of things, and I just like the flexibility of being able to have a few different fuzz tones in there, and it does it really, really well.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
So cool, man.
I really like their stuff. I'm really impressed by their stuff, and I have the Ridge as well, and I love that thing too. It's all good.
We spoke briefly last night that you're in constant search of overdrive pedals.
Yeah. Yeah, it's become bad. I mean, I'm now in a territory where I haven't found anything that's not valve driven that I really connect with. I started messing around with building amps a couple years ago, and I built I've since destroyed it. I over-modded it, and now it sounds really bad. But it sounded awesome. It started sounding really awesome, and then I tried to turn it into like kind of an ODS-inspired cascading gain thing. And it actually sounds phenomenal, but the clean channel is just horrible. And I don't know how to fix it yet. But I really started to kind of lean into like some of the smaller amp-driven sounds. What that amp started its life out as was like a slightly modded brown-faced Princeton. And I modded it because the Princetons were actually pretty clean compared to the Deluxes. So I modded it to have a little more give and overdrive a little quicker. And it wound up being the main overdrive sound on the new record.
No way. So an amp that I love that. I just got into building amps a little bit. I didn't just put a 5E3 together from a kit.
Built a Dumble.
Basically.
I mean...
it's just that's you. That's rounds you off nicely, I think.
It does. I really grew to love it. And I mean, I've yet to make something that is like I would feel comfortable loaning to somebody to use, because it'd be like, oh yeah, don't turn that knob all the way. Something weird in there, and that knob only works if it's facing southeast. So there's things like that. There's a lot of like the experience of spending your life repairing and building that that I just don't have. But I'm a curious guy, and I chase that curiosity around. But it turned out really well, and now it's basically trash. But that's how you do it. That's how it goes.
Can we hear some of the more extreme textural things, like some of the stuff you were playing before?
Yeah.
Because it's one of the things that I love about the Brothers Landreth in the current lineup as a 3-piece. You've taken the mantle of doing everything that isn't bass drums and like all the stuff that's on the album. Like you're doing it all and you're doing it live. There's no backing tracks. There's none of that nonsense. Not that it's nonsense, but it's a bit nonsensical.
Talking of backing tracks.
But you've found a way to, talking about the keyboard organ part before, and you've found a way to create that sort of vibe.
Yeah.
So instead of play over, and I think it's one of the things I love about your board. It's fabulous. You were saying before, all you need is an overdrive pedal and a slapback, but actually, if that's your core tone, you have the ability and do everything else.
When I can and when it feels like it's called for. I think my last big board, when we were doing the Come Morning record, I was trying to get it to do far too much. I was even sampling certain sounds.
Right, and I remember you had a couple of moods and you're doing all that stuff. Yeah,
and it was really, really fun, but that board went too far in the direction of like, I have to drive this thing all the time.
Sure. Okay.
And so I'm less standing behind the guitar. I'm more standing in front of the pedal board. So I wanted to be able to capture some of the sound, some of the elements of that board that were really fun, but I wanted it to be a little more set and forget.
Sure. Okay.
And something that I didn't have to manage all the time. So so we had this brilliant keyboard player play on the new record. We flew him over. He's from Winnipeg.
Right.
But he left Winnipeg when he was like 18 and went on a pilgrimage through went to New Orleans and New York and lived all over the U.S. And we met him. I had no idea he was from Winnipeg. We met him because he was playing keyboards with Bonnie Raitt. So, we were talking. We were at the same festival and we were talking, and he asked something about like, oh, is like Ray and Jerry still there? We're like, how the fuck do you know about Ray and Jerry? It's like, well, I was born in Winnipeg. What?
If we visit Winnipeg, do we come back awesome as well?
For sure.
Because everyone that I've met from Winnipeg is just unbelievable.
It's man, you guys got to come. It's a cool place. We're gonna do
My
it.
neighbour actually comes from Winnipeg.
I love it.
True story.
We're everywhere.
Yeah. But okay, Bonnie Raitt, slight tangent. Is that where the Bonnie Raitt connection came in? Because she ends up doing a version of Made Up Mind, which
wins a Grammy.
Yeah.
What?
Crazy.
And then she's singing on the new record.
Yeah, so we had Glenn, his name's Glenn Patscha. We had him come and play on the record. And he and Bonnie are very tight. And like we know Bonnie, but we're not, it's not like I'm calling her on the phone, shooting the shit kind of thing.
Bonnie, how did you make that salsa?
Salsa. None of that.
Yeah, okay.
There's a ton of respect there. She's legitimately one of my heroes. And so it's, you always have to be careful. Like, not that she's not incredibly down to earth and super chill, but
That's why no one calls me.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
just
neither.
trying to be really respectful.
Yeah. But he had said we'd finished the most of the record, and he had said you should send a couple songs to Bonnie. I think she would really enjoy it. So we said, like, hey, could you just check with her? We don't want to cross any lines, but could you check with her if she'd be interested in listening? And then he said, yeah. She said, send it over. So we sent her over a couple songs and just said, if there's anything on here that you feel connected to, we would absolutely love it if you sang on the record. And she came back and she said, I nailed it down to 3 songs. So pick which one. And we were like, no, you pick. Whichever one you connect with, you do it. And then she called us. We got an email from her manager saying there's an unknown caller is going to call around 12 o'clock your time. Answer it. It'll be Bonnie. She called and she was like, I have a problem, guys. We're like, oh, no. She goes, I can't decide between this song and that song. Would it be okay if I just sent you both? We were like, you know what? I think that would be okay. Yeah.
Far out, man.
Yeah, so she sang on a song called Half Moon Eyes. She sang the background vocals on that, and then she did a duet with us on a song called Knuckles.
Yeah.
And it's like that recording is, aside from my wife and children, that is like my prized possession.
Oh, man.
It is like within one syllable of her starting to sing. It's like it can only be one person.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Wow,
man.
dude.
That's really cool.
Well done, man.
Pure magic.
What a huge deal.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Yeah,
go
you.
listen to it. Dog Ear. It's on all the platforms. Go listen to it.
It's there. It's available.
Where did we get to? We were talking about overdrives.
We nearly got to some texture.
Yeah, Dan was talking about texture, and I think this might be a good, within the context of this, a good time to maybe explain a little bit about what the hell's going on here.
Sure. So most everything is going through G3. Mm-hmm. In the last loop, I actually have an additional 10-channel looper from Morningstar Effects. So the quad cortex is in there. The mood is in there. The free the tone is in there because I wanted to be able to move things around. I didn't want to just put them in series. I wanted to be able to shuffle them around, and I just didn't have enough for everything that I wanted to do. So all the analog guys are going straight into G3. Mm-hmm. The digital guys are going into the Morningstar ML10X underneath. Mm-hmm. And then my favorite thing that I'm doing is I'm taking the second line on the quad cortex. I have loop 3. Mm-hmm. Shut up. I have loop 3 going into the ML10X. Mm-hmm. And then I have the send and return from the quad cortex going to loop 3. Mm-hmm. So if I want to use a different fuzz or some kind of weird modulation that I don't currently have, I can send it to loop 3.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
So then if I want it in front of all my drives.
Can move it around in G3.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
So that's really fun. I've got like a dual 1176 compressor. Mm-hmm. And I just ran out of room. So I've got that queued up on one song, and it's pretty fun. Makes it pretty flexible.
So a compressor programmed into the
quad cortex.
Quad cortex. Yep.
And you guys are gonna hate this.
We don't. We've given up on hate, Joey.
But I'm using the Woah in there too.
We hate you.
Oh
yeah, yeah. And it was just like I brought a Woah on tour, and the switch started to go, and it was kind of crackly. And I was like, this is such a drag because I just use it for one. We do a version of Shaka Khan, Tell Me Something Good at the end of our set.
You do not.
We do. It's awesome. It's so awesome.
That's one of my favorite ones of her songs. I love Shaka Khan. Sorry, I love Shaka Khan, and I love that song.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
It's great.
I can't wait.
So I was having this problem with my wah pedal, and I was like, I hate that I'm even gonna try this, but I wonder what the wahs in here sound like. And like I A/B'd them, and I was like, sounds pretty good.
Is that what the other LAA's for then?
The other one is mostly I just use to blend the wet effects in, but I do use it for the wah-wah.
Okay.
And I feel like an absolute poser using an expression pedal to play wah-wah. But it's like,
brilliant.
and one less thing sitting on the side of the pedal board. I feel like I have to apologize for it, but it works.
It works,
I think it's a bridge to me and Dan just moving on.
Yeah.
You know, growing up, becoming adults.
Well, and I mean, there's such value to understanding what all of this stuff does. Mm. But like when I first got my Universal Audio interface, mm-hmm. and you're buying all the UAD plugins, the 1073s, 1176s, whatever. you use them and you go, wow, these things sound really good. I wonder what the real thing sounds like.
Yeah, we've done exactly that here in the
And
studio.
I've done the exact same thing in my studio. I have a stereo channel of all of the things that I loved about the UAD plugins. And so
that's why you're still using analog effects, right? Because you've got a connection with these, and you're it's like, okay, for this, especially the gain sounds, you connect with these things, and I can manipulate them and do all the wonderful things that you do in the digital realm.
Yeah. Well, and what is so fun about the Quad Cortex, what I've found is like I can dream up an idea. I can go, I wonder if I can do this, and then I just poke around and make the sound.
Right.
Is it drag and drop the UI?
Sort of. You just click on the line.
And you do it.
Yeah.
What it also is good about it, if you've got an old car, you can just put it on the dashboard and it makes
and it actually
feel like you've got a new.
Well, it actually has Apple CarPlay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course it does.
Yeah. So that's pretty
I've
cool
got one more Shaka Khan question. Sorry. Does that song actually slow down? Where it goes ba 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 ba. It feels like
no. So here's the trick with the song, is if you feel the bass on the downbeat, there's a bar 7/8 at the end.
Right.
But the bass is on the offbeat, so it goes one. Would you?
Yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's fun. Roman sings the second verse and it just brings the house down.
Of course he does.
I'm giving away all our secrets. Okay, sounds?
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason I brought up Glenn is because he played Hammond. He played all the keyboards, but he's just an incredible Hammond player. And he's like one of those guys, like he can sit down and like play organ trio, Jimmy Smith shit, and just blow your mind with the craziest chops. But then he does this crazy thing with his Wurlitzer. He has a Boss DM1 or DM2, like the old analog delay, and he uses volume swells and runs it 100% wet, and then really slowly manipulates the time, and it sounds like a pedal steel. It's insane. So he goes from being like just absolute chop monster to like Vibe City with playing one note. You know, like he's just so. He's so versatile. Anyway, so I wanted to create a little bit of what he was doing at the beginning of the song just to set the vibe. So would you mind turning the right LAA down? Pretty fun.
That is so cool. Let's break that down. So the fifth thing that you pressed is giving a fifth harmony.
Yeah, so just without the drone. I was telling Dan that I watched a video with, I mess around playing Hammond organ like during the pandemic. That was my COVID project. I bought a little miniature, it's called an M1, it was like a mini B3. Just started trying to learn how to play it. And anyways, I was watching a video with Larry Golding, so he's talking about some of the things that he does.
I love the tap videos he does.
Yeah, he's so good. But he played this sound where he was like, yeah, you just take the fundamental drawbar, like I think it's the 8-foot drawbar, and then you put a fifth below, and then he just started playing these crazy voicings. And I was like, I think I could do that in quad Cortex. So that's what that's. But if you play tenths. Those are just sixths. So you just mess it, like without it, it's just.
Okay. Explain this to me.
Sure.
This is something that's always I've found remarkable about what you do. You tread this line between incredible artistry, like as good as anyone ever, right? Then this unbelievable, deep understanding of complexity of technology. And I've always just found that remarkable because it generally leans one way or the other.
Sure.
You can you can play a note and
is-
just make grown men weep. You know,
Yeah.
we've seen it, done it. But then,
Still getting over
but you can turn on this other part of your brain that goes, actually, for this I need this.
Yeah.
I think just if I had any superpower, it's just curiosity,
Right.
and I'm not sure why, but when I can't quite figure out something, I need to figure it out to the best of my ability, to
Okay.
the capacity that my intellect will allow.
Is that also explain your harmonic knowledge as well? Because I remember years ago when you were staying at our place and I did that lesson with you, and the stuff that you were pulling out was like you have such a deep understanding of harmony, and is that the same thing? You're just curious and needed to know about the stuff.
Yeah, when I hear things that I love and I want to understand it,
Right.
So I want to be able to use all of the, I think where the Venn diagram of like the technological stuff and the music stuff is that I just want to have the ability to use all those things in my palette.
Okay.
So I want to be able to I want to understand how to properly route something so I can get the best result to allow. Ultimately, it's like all the decisions made here are so that when I get on stage, I can just close my eyes and play.
Yeah, because it's not for the sake of it, is it? It's in the
No.
service of music. It's in the service of songs.
Yeah.
It's in the service. And this theme has come up a lot on TPS just recently. Thank God it has, because, we are super guilty of disappearing into our own navels, getting into the shit. But whether it's Bill Frisell, whether it's Maddie Cunningham, whether it's you, the result is
How mad.
the same,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
the same. It's all in the service
Of
of,
the song, of the
music.
music,
And
yeah.
that might sound like a crazy thing to say, because of course it is. But we do get lost in the
It's easy to get lost
pursuing
in it. Yeah.
tone with destination nowhere,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I could count on one hand the amount of people that have anywhere near your level of artistry that actually function as a human.
Yeah.
You know what
Sure.
I mean?
Well, I appreciate that. I don't see myself the same way. I just see myself as an idiot. But
No, it's really beautiful. Really beautiful. It's really inspiring, actually.
It is.
thank you.
Yeah.
It is. I would also like to mark a moment. So Dan is further ahead than I am in terms of what's going on and watching guitar culture and all of that. I often moan about the fact that, oh God, bloody music, it's just rock and roll. We're just regurgitating it. We're just doing the same shit that they did 40 years ago and just trying to reinvent it. I want to mark this moment in time where I've just gone, yeah, guitar has changed. It really has. And I want to say, it has been changing, and lots of great artists out there have been doing really great things. But what you've just played today is, for me, what guitar sounds like now.
Right.
Right.
It really does. It's like a paradigm shift where that thing of us just going, I want to sound like Keith Richards, I want to sound like Jimmy Page, I want to sound like Eric Clapton. Nothing wrong with that. But it's kind of done.
Well, I mean, it's been embellished to a point, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Now, where
It's eaten
there
itself.
there are these voices now, you know, and yours included, that have taken it to a new level.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so beautiful to see.
Oh, thank you.
When they
kind.
dig it all up in 200 years' time and they say, what did guitar sound like in 2026?
Yeah, right. There it is.
It sounds like this, I think.
Well,
Sorry,
and
that's
I
a
mean,
massive tangent.
it can sound like this, and then it can also, you know, we mentioned Jocelyn Gould. It can also sound like that.
Yeah.
But I think what's like, I'm noticing there's a push against. There is a bit of a push against technology, and I'm guilty of it too, where we go, but that's not how we used to do it, and how we used to do it was really cool. But it's like once it's happening, it's already done. And it's not that amplifiers are a thing of the past. It's just people are engaging with these things in a different way. And for some people, it's going to create things we've never ever heard before.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the more important thing. You know, the parts that are like, the thing that I find hard to reconcile is like, I can't quite bring myself to put a stomp box in there that I haven't bought and paid for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No,
and that's the
yeah.
part. It's like, because it's like we're kind of in this nebulous space of licensing. Like, and like if I decide, you know, I was saying I got this gig with the local symphony at the end of the month.
Just a little
With a
gig.
little
Just
gig.
a little gig.
And
Can we say?
I think we can say
Just a little gig playing with Stewart Copeland.
Stewart Copeland.
I'm the only. I guess I was the only person that they knew of that they thought might be able to read music. Which I at one point I could, but I can't really now. I got all the charts and I was just like, I got some work to do. But so, you know, I'm going to attempt to make captures of my amps so that I have as close to the rig that I'm used to when I do that gig. But it's like I'm not going to make them public. I don't want somebody to be able to go, oh, I've got Joey's 2-Rock, or I've got Joey's Revv, or I got Joey's Cillia, or whatever. It's like that feels a little. I'm not sure, and it's not meant as a criticism to anybody. I'm just not sure how I feel about it.
Well, no, because I remember years ago there was a great thing with Henning Pauly,
Yeah.
and he just put this thing up as like, you know, you've got these digital things and they've got all these sounds in them, but they're other people's sounds that they've created, and they're just taking a snapshot and going, here,
Yeah.
you know, this is someone else's IP, someone else's creativity. And it's like, and however you feel about that, you know, I think it is that line of there's so much stuff that you can do, looking at the past and saying, okay, what we did then was amazing, and there's all this other options out there. I think what I love about what you do is you haven't been stopped by option paralysis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've gone on and been creative and making music, and you know, which is wonderful.
I think that is the important part. You just kind of can't stop.
Yeah.
Once your board is built, once the sounds are together, then you have to go and make stuff with it. You know.
Can we hear the other guitar? I'm dying to hear that thing.
Just before we do,
Sure.
we broke part of that down. We talked about the fifths. The thing doing the freeze and the hold, that's in Quad Cortex as well?
Yeah, it's just it's one of their new modules.
So
And-
basically a hold, as it would be if you were using
Yeah.
something like an Electro-Harmonics freeze or
Exactly.
something like that. So
Yeah.
we haven't got into mood yet. We're not there.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to go there before we change guitars?
Up to you, man.
I'd love to hear the mood because it still confuses me.
Yeah. And Joey, I'm just gonna I am gonna move you back again in a
Okay.
minute. All right.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's OCD.
Am I in frame? Am I okay? So this is just Quad Cortex delay and reverb.
I have another tangential question, which is hopefully relevant. We get comments all the time from people going, "You can't use all that delay and reverb. No one can hear it in a mix."
Yeah. Just turn it down. little bit.
But you use that. You use the space, right, in the band?
Oh yeah,
Because it's a 3-piece.
yeah, yeah. And there's moments when it does get super washy, but it's intentional. It's you know, I use the mood a lot during song transitions because it creates something that allows me to move my capo, change my sounds, tune up again. You know, reset before the next song. So. You just kind of have to use it sparingly. Yeah. I often, you know, I have both of these reverbs on, and I have them. When I'm setting the intro by myself, reverbs are on. I usually turn the long one off and just leave. Longer.
Yep.
Spring reverb sound. Yeah.
And that's all controlled via MIDI
on G3
into Quad Cortex.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Killer.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were talking about mood.
No, that's okay. And then this guy I'm just using to do other things so I can leave G3 free to do the heavy lifting with the analog stuff. So like I've got where are you? Here. So this is the mood. Thank you very much, everybody.
You did something then that I just want to point out, which is why I still love pedals. You got a sound, and you went, "Hang on, I just want a bit more of that."
Yeah.
Yeah. Tweaky.
It's so important. And name drop thing. When same thing when I did the build for Ed O'Brien for the last Radiohead tour, and so he had 3 boards, and what was remarkable is exactly the same thing as you did, because in the moment, every moment, he's flexible enough just to go into what this, and that was a perfect example of that. It was really great.
Yeah, and I don't want to have to be like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's that thing, isn't it? It's the thing that is talked about all the time, this coming together of analog and digital in a meaningful way, because the functionality that we've got from this digital stuff is still relatively new. Relatively, in terms of the UI anyway, in how it can be used and the fusing of it. You are also the second person in a week we've seen use a mood and actually know what they're doing. How'd you get it to sample for that long? I didn't think it could sample for that long.
I have the clock cranked way down.
Right.
So that's another important function of this thing.
Well, I'm going to put the back on my board.
It's so good.
I've got to work on
Okay.
I like the blooper too. Maybe it's the blooper I'm thinking of that can't go for that long. But...
No, the blooper's got a pretty good Okay, how come it's not? Oh. So you can hear how it's pretty degraded. That's because the clock is cranked way down.
Yeah, right.
So. And I've got it set in the stereo mode, so one's reverse, one's forward. But I just need to have that reverb on there.
That's the reverb in the mood.
Huh?
Stop it. That's incredible.
The thing for me with the reverb in the mood is the modify has to be kind of all the way up, otherwise it's really grainy, which is great for just not what I'm after.
Yeah, sure.
And then it goes for ever.
Yeah,
if you
it's
want.
still going, right?
Well then. Yeah.
And every one of those functions is CV controllable, or at least expression pedal controllable and MIDI controllable.
Yeah, and you can freeze the reverb tails.
Can you feed that back in?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have that answer.
Okay.
Let's see. Once it's freezing, it's
okay.
That's it.
Right, got it.
It's freezing what it heard.
Yes, got it. Okay. Wow, amazing.
Oh man, that's so cool.
It's a great pedal. It's one of those things that I haven't had one on my board for a while. We just weren't really doing sounds like that. And then I put one on, like just kind of, and Roman looked down at my pedal board for rehearsal and he was like, "Oh, nice mood." And then, and I used to have presets for every songs and slightly different. I just I just sort of like let it grow. I'll change one thing one night.
I love that.
The thing that scares a lot of people away from the mood is the secondary functions. And there on the Mood Mark II, there are so many. So it's really like you got to have the manual out.
Yeah.
But, I've got like, if you hold the two switches down, the bottom right knob controls how much the loop hits the reverb or how much dry signal is let through. So that's a nice one to have. And then the bottom left is the filter for the verb, so you can darken it. And so those are things that I reach for often. But I'm constantly opening the manual and go, how the fuck do you, what's the, fuck. But it's such a great little tool for,
it's beautiful.
Song transitions are huge, but like creating a nice little ambient thing to sing over. There have been nights where I just like set a loop on the mood and I don't even play, I just sing over it. And it's just so fun.
God, you know what?
It's having the courage to have your mixes that spacey too. Because, a lot of you out there playing in bands, there's 5 of you in the band. I've been in so many bands like this where everyone's got to be playing all the damn time. Everyone always has to be playing all the time. It's like, no, come on. Just 3 of you shut up. And
you and you.
And then let's just let this thing have some air, right? Some life.
Yeah. Well, I think it's tough for some people to realize that like the absence of playing is still their contribution.
Yeah, I've always felt that way about me.
I feel very much that way.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll stop playing.
New T-shirt. Who said that about it? Says my contribution to literature is not writing a book.
It was Tim Lurch.
Tim Lurch said that.
My contribution to Zen literature is to not write a book. No, to abstain. To abstain from writing a book.
I love that. Yeah, and that is to shut the fuck up with those symbols. Because I know you just bought a new China, but nobody needs that.
Yeah. I'm sure that was a conversation in when King Crimson was recording Red. Yeah. And God, what's his name?
Who?
The guy from King Crimson, the main dude.
Oh, him. Yeah.
Robert
Fripp.
Robert Fripp just walks into rehearsal one day and Bill Bruford's there and goes, "Bill, shut up with your cymbals." And I'm sure he just took them off and put them in a bag and then just recorded the whole of Red without any cymbals.
Really?
There's no cymbals.
I made a record with somebody who just said I don't like the sound of cymbals.
Yeah. Or it might have been hi-hats, but Bill's hitting trash cans and like all of that album.
Yeah.
But there's certainly no hi-hats on there. It's amazing. But I can
so funny.
just hear Robert Fripp going, No, enough out of you.
Enough. I love that.
Dude, I really want to hear the other guitar.
Yeah, okay. All right.
While you're doing that, is there anything that's always on?
The juggler.
Yeah.
The juggler, the volume pedal, always on.
Right.
Yep.
Those loops are always activated. The LAAs and the quad Cortex. So it's like basically from loop 6 to 12, those are pretty much always on.
Yeah. But you can, what I like about that is basically a built-in redundant system where you can bypass them if you need to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Because too many times I build all my own boards and my own wire and stuff, and I've gotten really good at it, but still things fail every now and then. You just need to be able...
It's beautiful.
This is very nice.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Like a subway map.
This looked really good too, but then I changed things around and I just like, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I ran out of nice right angle jacks for those MIDI, so I had to use the straight, and I hate it.
So, okay, just in case we don't see that guitar again, that's Joey's Sorokin single cut with humbuckers.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. Has become your main guitar of late.
It's been number one for the last 4 or 5 years. I think that's when I got it. And it's one of those guitars that like I will often leave. Yeah, I'll often leave the house and go, maybe I'll take something else. And then I get to the door and I'm like,
And then this, how much can we talk about this then? Well, you're going to show it on camera. So
yeah,
I guess
we can talk about it. Yeah. This is a Novo Baritone prototype that I'm helping out with. And I'm going to need to tune it.
There is a certain amount of styling from another famous guitar brand in history
Yeah.
with the grip tape sides and the lipstick pickups.
And it was intentional. It was intentional.
Is that a hollow body?
Sure is.
Oh my goodness.
They were some of the most questionably constructed guitars ever, like masonite bodies, hollow,
Yeah, like practically made of cardboard.
but utterly
Oh, the Mi Electro.
awesome sounding.
That's right, the U Electro.
Yeah, the U Electro. Yeah, yeah. How do you tune this guitar, Joey?
I tune it very low. It's tuned to open G, but like, bleh.
So that's in between standard baritone and what we'd expect of a bass six.
Yeah. It's just, I was playing. I mean, my Sorokin's in open D right now, so it's not as big a deal. But I would just play I played in open C for such a long time that having a baritone tuned to B was just kind of not really that useful.
Yeah.
So I just kind of kept pushing it as low as I could until I was like, okay, that doesn't sound good anymore.
And the intervals are as a major chord, right?
Yeah, same as all my other
Yeah.
tunings. pretty cool.
So cool.
Yeah.
So we're not entirely sure what the scale length is. Let's just see if it's the
About
same.
yay. I think it's
About
probably
yay.
it's probably the same.
Yeah, it is. Well,
Yeah.
it might be a bit shorter actually.
That's pretty
No, about the
close.
same.
Yeah, it's probably.
Do you ever
So
play?
yeah, this is wow.
What's this?
This doesn't be.
Do you ever play it that low?
Yeah, for one song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you can play chords. Very selective of how you voice them. I'm not going to be doing a lot of like. So I try to space out the voicings, but so it's on the song Knuckles, and so a lot of times I'll just go. You know, if you get
Far out, man.
if you get too, you know, greedy with chord tones, it gets pretty mushy pretty quick.
So that's interesting, right? Because is Dave still playing a shorter scale bass?
No, he's back to playing a P bass on this
Good
tour.
man.
Oh, is he?
Good man.
He
So
put
where
a
is-
set of Klopmans in his. He got one of the Klopman P bass pickups, and it was like Andreas came down to our gig in Hamburg.
Isn't he a stellar dude?
Just beautiful guy.
We're talking about Andreas Klopman of Klopman pickups and guitars and things.
Put the P bass pickup in his bass, and he went up to sound check, and we were all just like, "Whoa!" Miraculous change. And his bass sounded good before, but yeah.
So it's always interesting. I know it's trio, so there is sonic space, but you're playing a lot of low notes there. Where's Dave? Is he below that?
Yeah, I cut a lot of bottom end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like this is probably double the bottom end that I'll have on stage.
Wow. Right.
Like anything 200 and below, we're fighting against. So, you know, and sometimes I'm better at it than other times, but between Ian and I, he'll let me know what he's struggling with and if it's resonating in an unfriendly way. But yeah, like like this sounds great for me by myself.
Yeah.
But as soon as we're in the band, I'm dumping, you know, at least half of that. You know, and so there's enough that you can kind of feel the warmth, but it's going to be mostly mid-range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Dave has pretty bass heavy sound as well.
He does.
There's a lot of rumble in Dave's tone, so you can't be.
He likes that big booty,
Because he's a cool daddy-o. He's a.
right?
I mean, yeah, it's that brothers thing as well. It's so cool. Like the the chemistry between the three of you, I think. But it's with Dave, and whenever I've seen you play with Dave, there's something else going on between you two.
Yeah.
You know, it's really, really beautiful.
It is, and as we get older, I think we lean into it more.
Yeah,
and
that's
we're
right.
like, we're. Yeah, it's actually very precious. It's a
Because
very
the
precious
first
thing.
time we saw you, he wasn't with you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and it was,
Well, Joey was solo touring at that time
Yeah,
yeah,
for solo records.
Yeah, solo records,
So
yeah.
it was either Meg or John at that time.
would have been Meg Dolovich or
no,
John.
Meg was later. John was first.
Yeah.
No, Meg was first. Meg was first because then John came in because she went on maternity leave.
Yeah.
When we saw you at the first gig, was Meg on bass?
No, that was Brothers. That was Dave.
Was it Dave?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because that would have been 2015,
Losing
and that was
my
our
mind.
first time playing in the. No, that was our second time through the UK.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just I remember also because your article in Guitarist magazine had just come out,
Yeah.
and you brought the magazine in, and there was Joey.
That was a Fat Lils.
That was
Remember we did a photo shoot of Fat Lils.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
That was
With
the
you
next
stood
trip.
against the bar. Oh, was
That
it?
was the next trip.
See, this is
The
where
first
you're-
trip, the first trip in Winchester was just when we all met and we went for pizza.
Yeah.
Fat Lils was the next time we came,
Oh,
And then we did the shoot.
Right, right. There you go. This is why you can do this stuff and I can't.
You've got 2 middle-aged men and 1 approaching middle-aged man fighting with their memories at this point, which is
what year was that again?
which is not about guitar pedals.
Helen?
Do you put any naughty business on this guitar in the form of overdrive and fuzz?
No, not in this set. It should happen though. Should we mess around with that?
Yeah, I just because it's such an interesting register, because you down tune
Yeah.
anyway, and then you have a baritone guitar.
does
That
that
whole
sound like?
discussion is pretty interesting.
I think we're gonna find out. Wait, turn that down, turn that down, turn that up.
Edifying.
Is that too loud?
No.
Okay, watch. Brace yourself, Sarah. The one, shut up. The one sort of setback is these pickups are very low output.
Right.
Yeah.
So they don't have a lot of jam to them themselves.
Doesn't seem to be a real problem though. It sounds like there's the sound of your next album.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe, hey.
What's doing the sorry, boring again. What's doing the gate? There was a hell of a gate.
The bonk machine.
It is.
So, yeah, okay, here's the bonk again. Turn the bias knob, the bottom one. Loud noises!
It's a great feature in a fuzz, a real heavy gate, isn't it? 'Cause
It's super cool.
it's functional, but it also sounds awesome.
Yeah, it also sounds awesome. You know, it takes a little bit of fine tuning to find the right amount of gate so that you're not just stealing the life away from it. But with the output of these pickups, I think you have a little more range on the bias there because something like the Gold Top's got quite a bit higher output, and it can kind of push into that in a way that chokes it out a little bit.
One interesting thing,
Yeah,
I can't see a harmonic tremolo.
there's no harmonic tremolo. Yeah,
Get ready to be hurt, Dan.
I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
We move on. We move along, and you know.
It's in here. Where is it? Which song has the harmonic? Oh yeah. Forgive me, Father, for I have.
Sinning.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
No, come on, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Wait.
No, we heard it.
Please.
Do with this guitar is this. Yeah, that's the business.
This,
let's see if we can get it any closer.
Shall I turn it off in the amp? Or you...
Yeah, do you mind? It's better than a lot of other digital recreations, but there's nothing that beats.
no.
Yeah.
How did Leo come up with that?
I don't think Leo gets enough credit as a designer.
Yeah.
He, we all know the guitars and that. Actually, his amp design is absolutely remarkable.
Well, considering he's like one of the first people to, do it. Really,
Yeah.
at least amplifying guitars, not just radios.
Yeah. No, he was a genius.
Yeah.
Proper genius. You hear interviews with people who knew him, and who just marvel because obviously he wasn't a player, but if there was a player in front of him that wanted to achieve something, he could do it. What an absolute wonderful thing to be able to do.
And the people he worked with, of course.
Of
Because I'm
course,
sure
of
there's lots of
course.
people going, oh, come on, Doc Kaufman, and
Yeah.
some of the other people.
Yeah.
Has that always been there?
I just started doing this.
I was gonna
I
say,
thought so.
what's going on?
We're
Yeah.
talking about the thumb pick.
Friend of mine we were at a show in where we were playing in Hamburg, and a buddy of mine builds these really cool like parts caster. Well, actually no, he builds everything himself, but like Telecasters, Jazzmaster, whatever. And so he brought down a Gudercaster for me to play, which is just wonderful. Jules, Joolz. That's his guitar company. Check him out. But he was filming the show, and I came out on stage, started playing, and he sent me the video, or he was telling me about the video. He's going to send it to me. And these two German guys in front of me just go, thumb pick.
Das thumb pick, sorry.
Das thumb pick, yeah. Thumb pick. There's a great guitar player named Seth Lee Jones, and he plays with
He's
a
coming
thumb
on the show.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are about to lose your minds.
No, I am a massive fan. And listen, now he is another person who reminds me of you in that he is a true artist, genius guitar player, but the guitars he builds, amazing.
Yeah.
And lots of like the best guys sent their stuff to be repaired.
Yeah, and restored.
Because
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
He
He's
properly understands that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bad boy in all regards. But I was watching him play, and I've always struggled with a plectrum. I've never been very good with one. My picking is sloppy at best.
Yeah, I was gonna say. But carry on.
So there was a moment.
I was like, honestly, yeah. It's one of the weaker parts of my playing for sure. From where I'm sitting and the things that I want to be able to do.
Wow.
And I was watching him play, and I play with my fingers so much, and I thought I should just try that and see. And I didn't like it at first, but then I took it off and was like, oh, I miss it. And then that was it. There have been some things that have taken some getting used to, but I feel like I have a little bit more control.
Do you not find it gets sweaty underneath the pick?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, that's what because I went through a phase where I did the same thing.
Yeah.
And there were parts about it that I absolutely loved. I had to file it right down so it was just.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I filed mine down too, but I lost them or broke them, so I just had to buy regular ones. But
I found halfway through the gig it was very sweaty and.
I'll like do this with them and like.
Oh, okay.
Kind of make them. Oh, I might have actually just went too far, but make them a little bit looser.
Okay.
And that makes a pretty.
So
big
you're
difference.
still having a little bit of grip on there.
Yeah,
yeah,
but just like
okay.
like. Of course, I'm gonna shit the bed because I'm trying to, but. And if and when I want to do that, but also it sort of lends itself to more. I don't do a whole lot of anyway, but and most of the time when I'm playing slide, I'm playing with my fingers,
Right.
and my thumb is just acting as a mute, and I'm using my. So it's not doing a lot anyway. And when I need it, it's there. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing it, but I just kind of have gotten to a place where I miss it if I don't have one.
Yeah.
The new record, Dog Ear, opens Sunrise Sunset. Are you Travis picking with that?
That's pre-thumb pick.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That one, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's lovely. It's a lovely song.
Thanks.
That's you, that is. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously it's all you, but that is really you.
Yeah, that was the demo too. That was like,
Really?
we wanted to make some acoustic recordings just to send around internally, and we had just started working. We've partnered with someone, and we're working on renovating an old church, turning it into a live venue, and we're gonna have a little recording space. So there's this little tiny chapel off the side of the main sanctuary of the church, and I went in there and I went. The sanctuary obviously sounds glorious, like if you had a choir in there or a string quartet. But I went into this chapel and I thought, oh, this would sound really good with like an acoustic guitar and a vocal, or drum kit would sound really good in here. So I built like a little modular rig, took a interface and a couple mic pre's and a compressor and stuff. Handful of microphones, just went in there, kind of like walked around until I thought I found the sweet spot, threw up microphones and just played, and that's what it was.
That's it.
Like, there's definitely ways to improve the sound of that recording. Like if I'd have spent a little more time placing microphones, but it was like, I listened back and was like, that's pretty good. That sounds really good.
Wow.
And that's basically that space untouched, you know,
So...
pair of coals up high and then close mic on the guitar and vocal, and that's it.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
And the vocals live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course it is. Listen to it. First track on Dog Ear.
Yeah.
Listen to it. Oh man, God.
You know, we're very proud of this, so I'm not ashamed of bragging. But the song "Dog Ear" is 100% live off the floor. We had finished tracking a bunch of tunes, and we were in it, and it was working well. And so we went to track "Dog Ear," and I had suggested like, hey, there's a big, huge old marching band kick drum or bass drum. I said, let's put that in front of the kick drum and see if that like makes it sound huge. And, you know, so we spent like an hour getting the sound together and trying some different microphones and getting it to speak the way we wanted to. And we got this really beautiful, you know, Ian just put together this incredible drum sound. And then we counted it off, and then the song came out and we finished it. And I looked around and was like, lunchtime? It was just like, everybody was just so there immediately, and I had to punch in one line of my vocal because at one point I bent over to change the delay setting, and so I lost the vocal. So I punched in one line. Everything else was live off the floor. Oh, man, and you can. What's really cool is I fucked up the arrangement. So going into the second verses, into the second chorus, there's supposed to be two tags of the line. Of like, I'll be the whatever my friend, I'll be the whatever my friend. But I missed it, and I went straight to the chorus. And the tonality changes because everybody was expecting something different. Well, I was, but it just turned into this really beautiful moment. It's really cool. I'm very proud of that.
I love
that. Doesn't happen often to us.
But those moments are like, listen to Gene Genie and listen to how everyone stuffs that up, and it's magic. Yeah. You know?
I think the wisdom, like if I can toot our own horn, is knowing that warts and all, it's not going to get better, like because you have to trust the intention.
Yes, yes.
So it's like, could I have sung something with more, like, could I have sung something better? Probably. Could I have played something better? Probably. Could I have gotten a better intent? Absolutely not. Yeah, right. And you'd chase that. Like in my younger days, I would have gone, okay, give me 4 or 5 more takes. Let me see if I can get that better. And for whatever reason in that moment, it was like, there's nothing better than that. There's no point.
That's great.
Because you'll just chase something and then you'll fuck it up. It was like, instead, let's just go have a burrito. So that's a little self horn toot, if I can say that on the internet.
But it paints a picture of the whole story, doesn't it? The push and pull of everything that's happening.
Yep.
So we talked today about the intricacy of some technology.
Yeah.
about that being a focus for a small part of what you're doing, but it exists in the context of something bigger than that. And if any of that balance is off, the result is off.
Yes.
But it's always in the context of the music. And
Yeah.
I know we said it earlier, but when you sit in here week in, week out, listening to 10 different tube screamers going, which one of these sounds better? That's valid, right? When you're choosing a tube screamer. I'm not saying it's not valid.
100%.
But then the validity of that becomes so much smaller in the context of what it is that you're doing. And so it all becomes this whole. So it might be that you've got like the most, cork sniffing analog signal chain board and all the rest of it. And then you sync it to a click track and do 20,000 takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that sort of removes the point of having all that shit in the first place.
Yeah. There's always a balance, right? I mean, like, we mentioned like playing to tracks. It's kind of sacrilegious to me, but I understand why certain acts do it.
Yeah.
And part of their art form is not just playing the songs. It's in presenting the show.
Yeah,
and that's very important, and it's totally valid.
Yeah.
I'm never going to do it because it's not valid.
Sure.
And the whole point of making music for me is not to present you the exact same thing every time. And I'm not looking down my nose because I think that's a beautiful art form. To
the Eagles have done it.
The Eagles, Prince never played to tracks, but things were so rehearsed and they were just so. Yeah. And there's nobody's going to argue that that's not art.
Absolutely.
So, but for us, our art form is listening to each other and responding off each other. And sometimes it goes great and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. And just like accepting that sort of is really important. So
Bill Frisell said pretty much the same thing.
He did.
Yeah.
So I'm exactly like Bill Frisell. I knew it.
We said it about with Maddie Cunningham on Monday. There is this line.
Our mate Maddie.
Mate Maddie. Oh, and our mate Bill.
And our mate Bill.
Yeah.
Check him out.
How is our Bill?
It's good.
Yeah, good.
Mercurially brilliant. But there's a line that runs straight through the middle of all of you.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. It's the artistry in the service of the art and the music.
Completely.
And it is a wonderful thing, and it is a good reminder, where we came in at the top of the show, that's the shit that bonds people together.
Yeah, I think I love gear, and gear keeps me sort of on my toes. I like to switch things out on my board. We've talked about that before. Like, I like to switch things out, not because it's going to even make a difference in the end result, but it's just going to remind me when I step on something that sounds or feels a little different. It's going to remind me to be there.
Yeah,
and play into it. I don't want to, and that's, I think, one of the things that I love about an analog fuzz is like, you never know what you're going to get. Mm-hmm. It's always going to be responding differently. And you have, like Box of Chocolates, Forrest said it himself, you have to change the way you play in order to get things out, and you have to be present.
Yes.
And that's like, for me, that's what makes a good show or not a good show is because, and I'm not saying this because I have a huge ego. I'm probably, I hate myself as much as your average person. I hope you don't hate yourself. You deserve love. But, I'm hard on myself the way your average musician is. But I know that because of the time I've put into my craft, just like you guys, I know that there's a baseline that's always achievable.
Yep.
The difference between my best show and my worst show doesn't really translate to a bad show.
Sure.
But when I'm invested and I'm in the moment, and that's when people cheer louder. That's when people say really nice things. That's when people say they can't wait for us to come back, or they buy a lot of merch. It's all those things, they're very tangible. And the difference is I'm not anywhere else except for here. And so sometimes gear helps facilitate that. And then the other side of it is like chasing after tube screamers, whatever, chase after the thing that you're not thinking about while you're playing. Yeah. Okay, this is my sound. I can trust this. I can lean back on it. I know that it's going to put me forward so that you're not thinking about the sound when you play.
Amazing.
And that's what I'm always chasing after. When I'm looking for a new thing, it's like, what's the thing that's going to keep the shit out of my way? Mm-hmm. And that's why my last big board was a problem, because it wasn't. Mm-hmm. It was in the way.
So you need to spend $20,000 for it to get out of the way.
That's exactly the point of this episode. And if you can't spend 20 grand on a pedal board, don't bother. No, I mean, you guys said Bill just plugged into whatever deluxe reverb. Sounded like.
Do you want to try the other one?
Nah, it's good.
Yeah.
No, it's remarkable.
Yeah. Look, right, we could there's stuff on here we haven't gone into in detail. There's one more thing we want to do before we finish. Joey, it's an education, and it is a I say it on camera, it is an honour to have known you for this amount of time, and for us to call each other friends at this point is a big deal. And I hope in some small way...
He doesn't call me a friend yet, so...
yeah, this is going to be another 10 years.
Another 10 years.
Another 10 years
I'll get
tears
there.
for you, son. In some small way that we can hopefully get this out over the waves, so that it hits you in some small way and you feel part of this, and you feel some of the privilege that we have to sit here with you and learn and hear and soak it in. What you do for the guitar world and what you do for the music world is
amazing. Yeah.
It is massive.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I, not to drag this out, but I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for your guys' help. And Lee Anderton, of course, too, who introduced us. And you guys entered my life at a time when I didn't realize that I needed some validation, and you validated what I was doing, and you put gas in the tank when I needed gas in the tank.
Oh, man.
And I'm very proud to say that both of you guys are like two of my best friends in the whole world, and we can go 3 years without seeing each other, and not a minute has
I
passed.
can't believe it's been
Yeah.
3 years.
We did
No,
two minutes in the car yesterday, and by the end of the second minute, we were talking about overdrive pedals.
It's so true. But you know what I love because people often ask, like, what are Dan and Mick like? And just being able to say they're the fucking best guys on the planet. They're exactly who they seem to be. They are passionate, hardworking, dedicated, absolute top-notch cork sniffing nerds.
yeah.
And it's all in the pursuit of beauty. And I think that's like, if there's a theme for our video, it's like, it's beauty. We're chasing after beauty.
Yeah, man.
Bless you, mate. Bless you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put some links below. There is an Easter egg to come, so hang around for that. I'm going to put some links below, so please go and listen to Brothers Landreth. Please listen to Joey. Please go to the shows.
Yeah.
This will go out in time for you to hopefully come see whatever's left of the UK tour, as long as it hasn't sold out. But do check those dates.
Yeah,
And-
starts April 9th and then ends about 3 weeks after that in London.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're all over, and you go to Ireland.
Yeah, we'll be in. We start in Dublin, then we go to Belfast, and then we're back over into England, and we get into Scotland. No Welsh shows this time, sorry, but
Yeah. Well, you can come to Bristol.
you can come to Bristol.
Cardiff East, as we like to call it. Tour dates below. One thing we want to do just finally, right? Joey has been in Europe recently and met up with, what's his name from Cillia?
Arnaud de Cillia.
Arnaud de Cillia, right?
Yeah.
We've been hearing, this is like separate to everything we just talked about. We've been hearing about de Cillia amps for a while. Joey's walked in here with one. We're like, can we just, for posterity, like hear it and record it? So that's our Easter egg.
Okay.
Hopefully these amps aren't de Cillia than all our other amps.
Cillia.
Come on.
Come on, it
Make
had
the
to be
sun.
done.
Yeah, yeah.
Cillia, the tattooed lady.
Finger snap.
Back in the room.
As we said, this is not necessarily related to what we've just done. Just Joey happened to turn up with one, and we've not heard one before. So I'll do some details of it after we've finished. But
Can I get you? I'll get you to play first.
everyone's talking about these things. No, I'm saying it's on 6.
It's on 6. Is it still on 25 watt mode?
Yeah.
Frick. Crank it down to like the 10 or the 5 and then turn it all the way up if we've got room.
That is killer. Sorry, I'm looking for my phone so I can show you the front panel, but I can't find my phone.
Do you want to use mine? It's just sitting on top of the...
It's cool. It's that was in its lowest power mode.
Yeah.
Just cranked.
Just died.
With the tone defeat on.
Okay.
Dan, have a play. See what you think.
Oh, man.
It's a unique sounding thing.
It really is.
So this is... We'll start in the same place and then it will get louder and cleaner. It's now in its mid power setting. It's on volume 6 and I've turned the tone boost off, and now I'll go to the highest power setting, turn it down a bit more, and just this will be its headroomiest
Okay,
place.
yep.
I'm just going to say this. In a small way, it does that thing that Robin's amp does.
Yes.
It has harmonicness.
And in the clean.
In the clean.
Well, and the thing that blew me away was when the first time I tried it, it was like on 2, and it was just glorious. Like there's no, like obviously it gets grindier as you go up, but there's no dead spot. There's no like, oh, it's so quiet and there's no give. It's like
you're not
really
turning
stiff.
it up to try and get something going.
It's like usable everywhere.
These guys have been playing. These guys have been playing humbuckers. So I'll for the goodness of the crowd, I'll try a.
Oh, which input is that?
Well, I'm going to go. You guys have been in the high input, so I'm going to crank it all the way up, go into the low input with single coils, and see.
Okay. Hell yeah!
On my Fenderson Gibsocaster.
Fenderson Gibsocaster.
Yeah, so this is the low input. Everything's turned up. It's on the highest output, and everything's at 10, but I'm in the low input, so we'll see.
It's pretty amazing.
I think the hum is probably so that was built. Arnaud built that for me to take back to North America. So I feel like the conversion from 220
okay.
to
He's going to change something in it, isn't he?
I
think for that particular amp.
Yeah, I'm sending. No, I'm not sure, but I'm not sure. I just feel like the hum because it's supposed to be dead quiet.
Okay.
He engineered the shit out of that thing to be quiet.
It's also going through a very ordinary step-down transformer.
That's the transformer that I meant. Yeah. So it's plugged into a step-down transformer.
It's 110.
So that hum should not be there, and I think it's just.
It's a real unique thing. It sounds like a big amp quiet.
I mean, like, what I said to him when I played like 3 notes, and I was like, this makes me feel excited the way plugging into the 2-Rock made me feel excited. Like I'm as excited about this little amp as I was about that big amp. You know, 2-Rock made me feel like on top of a mountain for big amps, and that's how that little amp makes me feel. It's like
so cool.
We'll see. It was a little Easter egg on the end, not entirely related to what we were doing today, but sometimes you just gotta do.
Sometimes you just buy an amp and you're like, holy shit, I need to tell everybody about this.
Okay, all that other stuff we said before. Joey, thanks so much.
Yes,
Go to that Pedal Show store, please. Thank you to our Patreons on Patreon, patrons on Patreon, and all the other stuff. Links in the description. We'll see you at a venue in April.
Yeah.
Tell your neighbors, tell your friends. I say this, just because I'm so excited. We've never played this well. And
the live clips I've seen of you guys recently, because I said to you, like the mix this morning, something's going on, because always awesome, but there's something going on with you guys at the moment, which is just
everybody's just
mind-blowing.
in line in a way that I didn't even know was possible. And I've never had this much fun, and I've spent my whole life having fun.
Yeah, so good.
So so
good.
if you can, please come out to a show. I'm really excited.
Yeah, we'll see you there.
Yeah.
And we'll see you soon on that Pedal Show.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.